We're walking through Madrid in February. Cold day, windy day. The wife and I we came here with the grandkids. I'm leaving them to eat while I come and look at this area right here. I believe that if you want to walk the Camino de Santiago from Madrid, over here is where it begins. As you can see, there's the Plaza de Santiago, Camino Usles, Camino de Santiago. Those are the images above there. So again, I believe we start down here, we go right up that way. It goes all the way up and connects with Sagun at some point. As luck would have it, I met a couple Peregrinos. They walked in 2018. And so we had a little conversation about the Camino and how important it was to us. And just wanting to share it to the whole world, you know? It's weird. The Camino brings everybody together. You meet somebody who's done it, boom, there's that instant connection. And I don't have that kind of connection with people I've known for years. I just got back from Spain. Now this video is gonna have Camino in it and some non-Camino, but in the end, it's gonna all be about Camino. I was with my wife and my grandkids, and one of the places I went was a place called La Ciudad Encantada. It's up on the top of a mountain outside of Cuenca. We drove there from Madrid, and the main reason I wanted to see La Ciudad Encantada is because a movie that shaped me as a child was filmed there, and that movie is The Valley of Guanji. Ray Harryhausen film about cowboys fighting dinosaurs in a hidden valley, Mexico. Well, they filmed the Hidden Valley, or the Lost, I think it's called the Forbidden Valley. They filmed those scenes all in La Ciudad Encantada. But there's a special story about this place. I've been wanting to come here for a long time. It's a collection of really unusual natural rock formations. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If you have seen Valley of Guanji, oh my goodness, you know all this. It's cold out here today, but I love it. This is where they brought the horses through when they entered the valley, the hidden valley.
There's a lot of spots over here. There's a big open area. Take us back that way.
I love it. Battery went out, so I had to plug it in, but can you see the formations in front of us? Formations behind us. I know they're getting cold. I don't care. This rock is called the seal because it looks like a seal. She's gonna jump on its back. This might have been where they rode the horses through to get to the valley in the movie. I don't know. Stone Sea, it resembles the ocean, but made of stone. It just really blows me away. It's just amazing. They're going down that way. This formation is called the elephant fighting the crocodile. You can see the elephant there. His trunk extends and the crocodile over here has a bite of it. I love it. El convento. Into the sun we come. While they anxiously await to head back down, here is the turtle, La Tortuga. These two are called the mares. This is called the lovers of Teruel. As you can see, hopefully you can see the snow is coming out of the sky. I think this is killer. But snow's beginning to fall, so we need to get out of here. We are heading towards the exit though. Give you a little story. When I was 7 years old, not 7, I was born in 63, 71, I was 8 years old. I had begged and begged my parents to let me go see a film called When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. My brother said, okay, I'll take you to it. When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth was actually the second film in a double bill with a movie called The Valley of Guanji, which I'd never heard of. I ended up loving The Valley of Guanji more than I loved When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. Magical. I think I saw it 3 times. Look at those trees swaying. Well, in 2014, January 1st, 2014, so a year and 2 weeks after my father died, I was in this horrible state of depression. Where we lived, I had no friends, no connections. And we were going to bed, and my wife looked on Turner Classic Movies, said, "Oh, that dinosaur movie you like is on." I said, "You know, I think I'm going to stay up and watch it." And I seemed to remember that Twitter used to do a thing called TCM Party, hashtag TCM Party. People would watch TCM from all over the world, all over the country, whoever had access to TCM, and they would use that hashtag and talk about the movie they were watching. So I watched that movie, I did the TCM Party, and for the first time in my ages, I felt connected to people, connected to the internet. This is the beauty of what the internet can do. I even said at one point, I think I put a tweet up that said, "This TCM Party is great, it's like having a sleepover." A bunch of people who loved that movie, had their own stories about that movie, had that experience with that movie, and it's just it's kind of stupid. It's just a silly cowboys fighting dinosaurs kids movie. But everybody had a story. Everybody had something magical in their past that was connected to that story, same as I did. So it was sort of significant that I got to go up and finally see La Ciudad Encantada, the place where The Valley of Guanji was filmed. Anyway, while we were on this trip, we drove from Madrid up to Burgos, so I wanted to show them a little bit of the Camino. And we did get to show them Burgos and show them a little bit of the Camino. My grandson especially was interested in history. He was interested in the cathedral. They weren't as impressed as I wanted them to be. I sort of had an idea in my head of what that day was going to look like, and it didn't pan out the way I wanted. Nobody's really as excited to hear my stories and to see this as I am to tell it. But that's kind of become my life recently. So anyway, the next day from Burgos, we drove down to Segovia to meet a guy named Mike, who had watched all my videos on YouTube, had sent me emails and talked to me. And I said, "Hey," he said, "if you're ever in Segovia, call me. I'll show you around." And we had this incredible day seeing Segovia with a guide. And my wife said to me, "What is it about that day? You were totally different. You were more engaged with us than ever. You were more engaged with Mike especially." And I couldn't explain it, except it's kind of like the Valley of Guanji. Had a connection with people through the internet, total strangers. We all had a story about this movie. And when we started sharing our stories, instantly there was a connection. Now, politically we may have not liked each other, who knows? Ideologically we may have been different, but we found this one common bond in this movie about cowboys fighting dinosaurs. And the Camino is that way. Something about the Camino. Everybody who I've seen on the Camino has one thing in common with me. We have a passion for the Camino, and that passion pulls us to that place. And something about being there, sharing that experience, I don't know, it opens us in a way. We start to share our stories about the Camino and on the Camino, and about our lives. That's what happened with the Valley of Guanji TCM Party on Twitter. We not only talked about how much we loved the movie, but we began to share our stories connected to the movie. And I have to admit, the Valley of Guanji, for all intents and purposes, did magically transform me for a little bit. So that's sort of interesting that a guy who I've only spoken with online, we can meet each other in Segovia and greet each other with a great big hug and instant connection. bonded for life because of our shared love of something that transformed us. Think about that when you go about your day-to-day life feeling disconnected because everybody's on their phone. Whatever's on their phone is more important than what's going on around them. Buen Camino. Epilogue. Hiking to the trailhead, I bumped into two people. They saw my shirt. They saw my tattoo. They said, "Oh, a peregrino, we've hiked the Camino." As it says in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God bless and keep you until then.